This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and I'm so excited to be joined by an incredible creative. My goodness, she's a spoken word artist, a poet, she does it all. The one and only Angie.
Sleepy started preaching, if you can't take the heat, better get up the kitchen. I told him chill, I'ma listen. Dusty, last name, locate, no cocaine. Said the first words that came to his brain, and Sleepy told him, don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. Shut up and listen. Say never ever let a nigga think that he can make you, break you. Only your mama made you. When she ain't want you, Angie, clap back and show the haters. Words don't hurt, only stick and stones could break my bones. But even then, my go so hard, feels like I'm smoking blue jeans. I do this shit with no team. Murder, she wrote CP states when I finish spitting. Those against me, call them enemies. Treat them like they scrubs. Call me left eye from TLC. Half of y'all niggas only have 90% of intelligence. Wishing I could be like Evangeline. I leave these niggas bitter. Only worried about my chicken. I'm blessed with the sauce. I'm like CP2 sauce. Call me Miss Sauce. Only rocking with real niggas. Having fakes niggas. Wishing they was some real niggas. Sleepy senses the tension, reminds me that I'm greatness. Tell me don't worry about these niggas half-ass personas, hiding behind their own penmanship. Keep being blunt, the word and ready for the truth to be spoken, even though your truth is all you have spoken. Using your words as medicine, healing the innocent. Shorty, you different, so Sleepy, from now on we ain't playing. Taking over the game with originality. No need to imitate something I know I never want to be. Tell your friends Angie's coming and you better be ready. And that's my time. Thank you for listening.
Hello, Angie, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great and highly blessed. How are you?
Angie, doing so much better now that we are finally meeting. And Angie, I just want to get started. I want to know, Angie, where you were born and when your love of poetry began.
I was born in Harlem, but I was raised in the Bronx, now living in Brooklyn. My love of poetry started since I was a kid. I used to struggle with expressing myself a lot, and I only could like let myself out through writing. So when I figured out writing, I started with short stories, and then my voice, I found my voice after, how I should speak and how I want to speak.
And boy, did you find your voice. I mean, and so did my dog who's barking. I want to know, in terms of the spoken word especially, how did you get into that?
I got into spoken word. Poetry has always been my thing. I've been writing since I was a kid. I've been reading books, and writing has been my life all the time. I've always written poetry, but I've never performed poetry. So I took a chance in 2019 and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. And ever since I started performing in 2019, a lot of people resonate with my words. I see how big my energy, not only my energy, but my words impact my society, my friends, my community. I see how people always cry after I speak, and how I perform and move rooms. So seeing the value of what I can do already is something that's gifted in me. It made me even happier, but it also made me happy to be able to find a way to actually express myself, because it's hard.
Angie, that's amazing. And I also just love the fact that you use your platform as a poet and a spoken word artist to talk about really important messages. Explain to me in the audience where you gain a lot of your inspiration from.
Myself. You know, it's funny, like, you know, when you're a kid, like people always have that one person they look up to and everything like that. But for me, it's not like that. Like, I've always looked up to myself. I've always wanted to be the best version I can be of myself. I wanted to know what it felt like to tap into my dream. I didn't just want to have a dream and think, well, I could do this and maybe I could do this. I want to go after it. So when I started seeing not only the uniqueness of how I took poetry, because I make poetic music, I make poetic visuals, and I also not only perform, but I also am writing a book. So with all that in the mix of it, I'm taking poetry to a whole new level. And I also want to do, like, you know, photography, mixing my poetry with photography. I don't think people understand that I'm going to tackle every 5 of your senses. And I'm going to make you feel, or I'm going to find the art that specifically resides with you. And I'm going to make sure poetry is incorporated in it, because my voice is just that strong. And I feel like what I have to say, it just means that much. And that's what my goal is. That's what I aim is. And that's what I stand for.
Angie, you're absolutely incredible. And I can't help but think about all the young Angies who are looking at you. Do you think about those little girls out there who look up to you?
I absolutely do. I actually work. I'm a community assistant, part-time community assistant, and I actually work with middle school kids. Before I worked with middle school kids, I used to work with high school kids. I still have a very close connection with my high school kids, and they still reach out to me when they have like problems or they need advice or they're struggling with their emotions. I still have mediations with them, and I'm not even working with. I'm not even in the same school. The same thing for my middle school kids. They run up to me. They'll vent to me. They'll ask me, "How is it to be a strong young woman at the age that they are?" And for me to be able to pour into their soul and actually make a difference, I'm like, wow, because if you only knew, I didn't really think I could do anything. And to see how much I could do with just speaking and being myself, it makes me feel really good. It really does.
Angie, you are such a light, such a talent. I am so grateful that you are coming on board this incredible new app, FENIX360, where you're going to be connected with artists and fans all over the world, but also as a director here in New York City, I'm so grateful that we are now connected, and I hope to collaborate with you one day. You're an incredible talent.
Thank you. I appreciate your soul. I appreciate it at all. It makes me feel good when people say that, because if you know me in real life, you'll understand how serious I take my work and how serious my voice really does impact. So I really appreciate you. I would love to work with you. I would love to collab, and I'm all about the vibes. So you don't even have to worry about that.
So nice to meet you.